you guys seeing all this? We are kicking off this vlog series here in Paris, my first stop on my adventure around the world, traveling to my different astrocartography lines in this year, 2024. I'm so excited to get started. So I am here in Paris, very close to my Saturn ascendant line, as well as my Venus IC line. I love coming to Paris. For the first vlog, let's see a little bit of Paris while I'm here on my Saturn ascendant line. Let's go. Use the knife. Why do you do that? I hate when you do that. Oh my god, so they just took my coat and my hanger and they put it in a closet. So I thought I would talk a little bit about the moon line in astrocartography so you can kind of understand a little bit more about how to interpret your own moon and also some things you can expect when traveling to these different lines, the 4 moon angles. So the moon is the fastest moving luminary. We have the lunar cycle, the moon phase. So when we're talking about the moon, one of the things to think about is that fluctuation, that ups and downs, the rise and the fall, that fluidity, kind of similar to Neptune, you know, that not being able to pin something down. It's not solid, it's not stable, but rather it's fluctuating, it's ever changing. Constant movability is so big with the moon. And so when you're on a moon line, you can expect more emotions to come up. You can expect your moods to change or your thoughts to change on things a lot. For instance, being on a moon MC line, right? Like I'm on my moon MC line. Moon MC in a natal chart, but also a moon MC natally, there is a sense of changing careers a lot. The MC or the midheaven in astrology is the highest point of visibility in the chart, often refers to career, public recognition, social reputation, things like that. And so, for example, if you have the moon MC in your natal chart or you're going to a moon MC line, you can expect changes in career. Maybe you are someone who changes your career often, or you are someone that, you know, one day you really want to do this and the next day you really want to do this with your career. It's kind of like your emotions lead the work. Your emotions and how you feel lead the career. And so that's the first thing to consider, is that the moon is very fluctuating. Now let's go through the 4 different angles with the moon so that you can better understand your own map. Now these are general definitions, general meanings. Be sure to look at your own natal moon placement to understand more about your moon. First off, we have the moon ascendant line, and you'll see this on your astrocartography map as the moon ASC. And this is about you embodying the moon, that emotional, intuitive sense of fluctuation in your life, in your perspective, in your perception, how you see the world, that fluid movement and changeability. It's also very emotional and intuitive. Now, moon ascendant lines can be hit or miss. Again, it depends on your natal moon, but often if someone has a nice moon, or it's a bit more neutral, you know, no hard aspects, not difficultly placed, the moon line on the ascendant can be a place where people love, like they call it home, they don't want to leave. They find that place and then they settle. And this is something I find a lot with people. When they have a good moon in their chart, it's like they go to that moon ascendant line and they just love it there and they can't ever see themselves leaving. There's just this sense of really being in connection with your heart and your mood and your emotions and that feeling of comfort, safety, desires, and nourishment. And the ascendant line is one of the most important because it represents you, right? It's you, the native, the person. And so ascendant lines are really amazing for getting to know yourself, getting to understand yourself, and being in connection with you and what you want and what you need specifically. Next, we have the moon setting line, or the moon descendant, which is the opposite of the ascendant. And the moon descendant line is about other people. So this is exterior things outside of you, things that are coming to you rather than from you. So think people, coworkers, think relationships, think others, external outside things. That moon energy of emotional bonding, nourishment, that sense of giving and receiving. You know, they think of like maternal or paternal, or that sense of motherly energy coming from other people. But there can be that over emotional side, being overly dependent on other people or seeking that in other people so much. Check your natal moon placement, you know, the sign placement as well as the aspects, but moon descendant lines can be really wonderful for connecting with others. Next, we have the moon IC line, which is one of my favorite placements in astrocartography because this is a line where consistently people feel a feeling of home. That sense of family and traditions and home, roots, belonging, ancestry. You know, we're thinking about that IC placement. And the moon does really well on the IC because the moon represents lineage, family, the parents. And the IC is also that angle in astrocartography and astrology. There can be a lot of obligations to families on this line, you know, family, parents, home. That can be a big central focus of the story of one being on a moon IC line. And it is a place that can be really lovely for settling, being a parent, having children, having a garden, you know, like just that sense of rootedness, especially if you've got like a moon series parent as well in that location on a latitude, that can be really lovely for that as well. And then lastly, we have the moon MC, or the moon midheaven, which is the line that I am on. Moon midheaven lines are places where there is a sense of wanting to give to the public. There is a deep need, desire, right? Moon emotive kind of energy feeling, wanting to care for others, wanting to give for others. There's that maternal, paternal energy toward it. There's like this strong sense of service and wanting to serve people. That's a big thing with the moon on the MC because it's kind of like your emotions and your desires are coloring what you want to do for work. And the moon MC line is also a fame line. It is traditionally in astrology, the moon MC, especially in the 10th house specifically, is an indicator of fame, just being very publicly recognized in a chart or a astrocartography map. So that is something that can also come up. Again, it depends on a lot more of the chart. That isn't to say that if you go to a moon MC line, you're going to be famous or whatnot. Or it can be something related to being in charge of a group of people, whether it's being a boss or an authority of something, and you're managing and leading a team or a group of people or an organization. Moon MC lines can be very successful for people, especially if you're working in things like healthcare, and also actors. Actors do very well on moon MC lines, can be a really nice indicator for fame as a performer or as an actor, being known for your heart and your social reputation, how you're seen publicly. This is a great place for any of that. And actually, that's partly why I'm here right now, is I've got a really nice transit that's going over this moon MC line. Now, am I expecting to be famous here? Absolutely not. But rather, I'm expecting some sort of connections or working with people or making more friends or something growing relationally with people that's really helpful for me. So those are the 4 angles, the 4 moon lines in astrocartography. When you pull up your astrocartography map, you can see that you've got 4 moon lines all across the world. There are different angles. And so check to see what moon line you have in your country or anywhere near you. And I'd be really curious to hear from you down below in the comments if you've ever been to a moon line. I have to get going as I am about to check out of this hotel and get on to my next Airbnb situation. I'm excited to check out and like have a normal Airbnb and not a hotel, even though I feel like I could live in a hotel, but you guys know what I mean.